Butterfly, Daddy's a jerk.
And that was the sound of Janet calling me a jerk after I caught her slurping on her little mug over there.
I wasn't slurping. My mouth was closed, and I just swallowed, and the microphone picked it up.
Yes. That's because we have these really good mics in here.
What kind of mics do we have, Steve?
They're really good. I don't know. These mics I've been using down here now for, 5 years or more?
At least.
At least now. So, but yeah, I bought the good ones at the time. Now, that one's just an okay one.
Don't tell Ashley that.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't listen to this podcast.
Oh, okay. Our third mic is just an okay. Like I paid for these, and those were like, yeah, we need a third mic, so I'll get a lesser brand.
Right. And if you listen to my podcast, which is Two Girls and a Bottle of Wine, most of the time we have a third person, and she sits there and uses that one. But so we don't need to tell her.
Right. But I listened to your podcast the other day, as you know, and the sound quality was really good. So you guys have been doing really good. Or you're producing it yourself, right?
I am.
Now, when you're producing, this is going to be weird for the people listening, just kind of talking here. Do you watch the sound and the board while you're doing the podcast, or you just set it and go?
No, I'm watching because for some reason my laptop, it's beautiful. It's rose gold. It has roses on the keyboard. But it does not work very well with Audacity, which is the program we use to podcast. Like, it skips, and so I have to monitor constantly.
That's weird, because I've never had any trouble with this one.
And that's the Lenovo that used to be my laptop before my Rose Garden computer.
And that one, your rose gold one is a good one. I mean, I know, because
I'm wondering if it needs more RAM.
I don't know. But
you're my computer guy.
The reason I asked was the other day I did for my podcast, Remasculate. I did an interview with Scott Adams, the cartoonist for Dilbert, and written several books and things. Well, we're doing a Skype interview, and I had it. I checked it, ready to go. Had it here. Checked the sound levels, everything. He Skyped in. I'm going, just talking and going on, and I looked down. And only one side was recording. Like his wasn't being picked up properly.
Oh no.
So for the first 6 minutes, it sounds like he's talking to me like he's talking to me like this.
Oh, how embarrassing.
I was like, oh, hold on. So I fixed it. And when I posted our podcast, I had to go in there, and you can adjust a lot of that stuff. So it sounds a little more like he's talking like this time. But I've got to get in the habit when I do interviews like that to really watch the board.
Well, I long ago done a full podcast, looked down, and I wasn't paying attention, and it didn't pick anything up. Like, it stopped recording. So I learned a long time ago. And I've had some co-hosts that have had to redo a whole freaking podcast with me. Well, see, thankfully, no one as famous as Mr. Dilbert.
That's what I started to say. It's one thing to have your buddy sitting here next to it, and you're, oh gosh, it didn't work. Hold on. But when you've set up a celebrity interview, you're like, you can't go, oh man, I just screwed up like half our interview. You have time to hang around and do it again?
Right. Right. No. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and so that interview, on my podcast, Remasculate, that is now one of the highest listened to and downloaded podcasts on mine in about 2 years.
Yeah, I walked into one of my boss's office like the day or two after you did that, and I looked up, and she had a Dilbert cartoon, and I was like, hey, Steve just did a podcast with that guy. She was like, oh, cool. And I'm like, yeah. It
was sort of neat because I found out that he was a fan of my stuff.
Larry? Yeah,
he likes the videos that I post.
Larry?
And so, yeah, Larry, liberal Larry, which you hate, I know. But it was sort of weird because it's like that time when I met years ago, name dropping here, Mark Chestnut at a bar, the country singer Mark Chestnut in a bar. And I walked up. I was going to introduce myself to him. And he goes, oh, I know who you are. I saw you on Crook and Chase. Years ago when I was doing the Nashville network. And it was just a weird kind of like, wow, you know who I am?
Right. That would be pretty cool. Like to walk up to like Britney Spears and her.
And she goes, oh, Janet, I listen to Two Girls and a Bottle of Wine.
Yeah. That would never happen. I don't know.
What would you do? What would you do if
I could possibly die at
Or
that
Miranda. Like next time you go see Miranda and you get that meet and greet, and she's like, Janet, I just love listening to Wrinkled Sheets or Two Girls and a Bottle of Wine.
I've met her so many times and she never acts like she remembers me. So I figure it will never happen.
The closest thing to that, remember when we went to see Keith Urban? And Keith Urban was like, oh yeah, I saw your name scroll across my radio.
When you were on the radio, Mudflap.
Yeah. That was so
Keith
weird.
Urban is so great at meet and greets. I've said this before, and I don't know if I've said it on this podcast. We met him a couple times. One of our first dates was, hey, you want to go see Keith Urban? Sure. You want to meet Keith Urban? Sure. It was so weird. It kind of gave me a prelude to what our relationship would be.
Yeah, you're like, you know a lot of people.
But in every meet and greet, he's like, what's your name? And you'd say it. And then at the end of the meet and greet, because he does like a group of people at once, he'll be like, thank you, Janet. I'm like, what the heck? How do you remember my name? Like, he's got to like have these like ways of remembering people.
Well,
because I'm horrible at names.
I'm horrible at names. But I can remember faces, like exactly like where I saw them even. Like, oh, I remember seeing that face at a mall in Atlanta. I mean, it could be that specific, but I can't remember a name. And I've always thought, like, that's why I'm a visual learner. You know, like, show me what to do, and I can do it. But if I, like, read instructions, like, this goes into B and A goes into, like, it's like,
I'm kind of
just show me what to do, and I can do it.
I need to be shown, like YouTube videos with instructions, great. And then if I have the instructions to follow along when I go to do it myself, it's kind of the safety net. I've recently hired a new employee, and it kind of flashed back to when I started with my company 3 years ago, and I was overwhelmed. And it was like, here are the instructions. And I was like, what? Show me. Just show me. And she tried, and then everyone went on vacation for the holidays because I started right after Thanksgiving, and I was like, well, here I go. I've been shown, ish. And I had the memory of watching it be done and then had the instructions.
What did we do before YouTube? How did we fix things or learn things? Or like just a few minutes ago, you made boiled peanuts this weekend. Which we're going to do on our Steve and Janet Trying Stuff channel. But
see, you get burpy after bubbly too.
I did,
you make
but I don't go like that.
I wouldn't do that on the podcast.
I know. But anyway, so you made the peanuts, and I went to get one just a little bit ago just to see how they were, and I thought, oh, they're still kind of moist and damp. I wonder if they're supposed to be like this.
They're soggy peanuts.
Yeah, but I go. But, sorry, hit the mic. So went to Alexa, how do you cook peanuts? And then it's...
Okay, for peanuts, I recommend peanuts.
Alexa.
I forgot.
Alexa, stop.
I forgot we moved another Alexa down here.
Yeah.
But anyway, we spoke to it, and the video came up with a thing about how did peanuts and how you're supposed to store them after you cook them.
Which I hadn't read. No, that did not come with the instructions.
Yeah, so I was like, what would we do without... I think
Technology.
These gadgets and YouTube and this kind of stuff have replaced calling your parents.
Yes.
Remember how you'd just be like, Mom, I want to make a turkey. What do I do?
Right.
Or Dad, sink's backed up. What tools do I need? Mm-hmm. So is that bad that like Google and YouTube are replacing our parents?
Well, if you lose your parents at a young age, no.
Well, yeah, thanks for going.
That happens a lot in Hallmark movies.
Those racist Hallmark movies.
Stop. You know, it's like, leave Britney alone. I want to just be like, leave Hallmark alone.
Did you see that article?
Yes.
Salon did a whole thing about how Hallmark movies are fascist and because they're all...
We have so many options. If you don't
white communities.
If you don't like Hallmark and what Hallmark produces, don't watch it. I don't like what ESPN produces.
So I don't watch it.
I don't sit here and complain about the fact that they generate millions of dollars and make millions of dollars over grown-ass men throwing balls at each other and tackling each other.
I agree.
And I just think it's ridiculous.
No, I agree.
I'm not posting
I think there's too many people.
Too many people have opinions, and there's too many platforms for them to share.
Well, yeah, that too. But I think people have gotten they're so soft, got so much money, so much to eat, so much free time that they're looking for things to complain about. It's almost like, we need something to make this country come together again. Like right after the World Trade Center, 9/11. Remember how the country was like America and waving flags, and now we're kind of like, well, there's a white channel.
Right.
That's not a white channel. It's Hallmark Christmas movies.
You know what you forgot?
What?
The intro.
Oh.
You should do that now.
It's wrinkled sheets. It's wrinkled sheets. It's really kind of neat. Listen to wrinkled sheets. Yeah.
That feels so much better.
So now we can start the podcast 10 minutes into it.
Right. So we've kind of been on the last several days, a staycation, which is my all-time favorite thing. I just love the fact that, one, I don't have to pack a bag. I don't have to travel anywhere. I can sleep in my own bed. I have my dog. I have my 2 cats. I have my husband. I have all the food I bought. And I can sleep in and not have to get up and go to work. It's like, I don't understand why we work so hard for these houses and our stuff. And then when we take time off work, we leave it to go somewhere else.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Now that you say it that way, that is a good... Because you really work hard for the house that you really want and love, but yet you don't want to spend a whole lot of time in it.
Yeah, you go to work, you go to work, you go to work. When you're off work, you go to Hawaii, you go to California, you go to Florida, you go other countries. Like, you don't spend time at your house. That's why I think a lot of the like millennials and the younger generation that are in their young adulthood, they're going simple and they're having these tiny homes and stuff. Because they realize that they're not going to spend a lot of time there. They want to go out and explore the world.
I think that's what happens in Europe. Because a lot of time, because in the UK, because I spent more time there, they're smaller places and smaller refrigerators. And that's sort of because you go get fresh food. You go.
Right.
You don't have a freezer full of stuff like we do, or you just go.
Okay.
Well, I need to go down and get some bread and some chicken. I'll go down to the corner store.
My girlfriend Monica, who lives in San Francisco, she has a very small apartment, but it's perfect for her. And she has a very small refrigerator and very, very small freezer. And she lives like that.
Yeah.
And she and I were talking the other day, and she was like, the amount of money I spend on food. And I kind of went back to that. It was like, when you use your local grocery store as your pantry,
Which I did for a long time.
like, that happens. But when you're able to buy like 2 pounds of chicken in bulk and stick it in your freezer, or a pound of ground beef and stick it in your freezer, it saves money. It's more cost effective. Now, we don't have a separate freezer in our garage. Your sister reminded me of this.
Yeah, we need one.
We don't.
We don't?
No.
Everybody I know has
Logically,
one. Everybody.
If we were buying like a cow, then we would need one. But we really don't. Like, we have the food we need and then some.
I recently had an offer to buy half of a bison. Somebody was wanting to go in. They were going to do it. It's like you buy half a cow. And
Why am I
they're
just now
butchered.
hearing about this?
Because I didn't have the freezer, and I told them immediately, said no. It just made me think about it when you said that.
We could have bought a freezer. I think buying slaughtered animals in bulk is a good idea, but we've just never discussed this.
Buying slaughtered animals in bulk is a good idea. Ladies and gentlemen, please store that into your memory bank, that buying...
But no, I grew up where my grandparents would buy a cow and give half of it to us.
That's what my dad always bought, like sides of beef.
Meat.
Yeah.
But it's not like cow is very healthy. Bison is a leaner type of meat. You know, it's not like you can buy like half a chicken and it feed you for a year. You know, but yeah, it's probably good that you said no.
Yeah.
But you didn't consult me.
Well, we didn't have the freezer.
I probably would have been like, you do that, I'll go buy a freezer.
You take care of that. I'll run over there to the factory outlet. Yes. Well, I almost bought one before a freezer, outside freezer.
Okay. Like 11 years ago then?
Yeah, because
I almost bought one.
Well,
One day, though.
I mean, I went there. But there's a huge used appliance place here in town that has really good deals, and they just didn't have the one I was looking for at the time, and so I didn't do it, and just never have done it since.
Yeah.
But my mom's got one. My mom actually has a freezer and an extra refrigerator outside.
That doesn't make sense.
And is that the dog making vomit noises over there?
Oh my gosh, it's your comedy act.
Oh my god! hold her up to the mic. Oh, she really did vomit. Oh, Butterfly just puked while we're. Oh no, Butterfly! Did it get on you? Or did you?
No,
Oh.
What's wrong with our animals? They're all throwing up the last 2 days.
Oh, Butterfly, are you okay?
You gonna pause it?
Are you? Yeah, let's pause it for a second. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, we are back, and
I'm so sorry. I hope we didn't make anyone sick.
oh, well, it wasn't that loud. That's why I was like, I think I hear it, but I don't.
If
Hold
you've
her
ever
up to
seen Steve's live comedy act where he talks about the vomiting animals, we have had this. Now, our cat did it last night. Our dog just did it.
Why? Why do any pets do this?
We haven't changed their food. They're eating, like, we don't feed them a lot of people food.
No.
Like, cats never get people food.
I don't know. Who
Anyway.
knows? But that's always one of those
We're
sounds.
on a tangent. So staycation time.
Yes, staycation.
So,
Go ahead.
no, you go first.
No, I was just going to finish up with we were talking about the freezer.
Yeah.
That would even lend itself to a little more staycation. If you had all the food you needed and all the cocktail mixes.
Steve makes fun of me. Because he'll be like, hey, do you want to go grab a bite? And I'm like, no. I spend at least...
We have food at home.
For 2 people, I spend at least $150 at the grocery store every 2 weeks. There is no reason that we should be going out to eat all the time. Because I buy food for us to eat. It's in the freezer or it's in the refrigerator. What's that?
No,
look?
I agree. I totally agree. But sometimes, you know what it is? I think because
You're on the road.
I'm on the
you're used to
road
doing
so
that.
much. Yeah, and I get used to eating out. Or I kind of think it's because I'm on the ships a lot and I eat the same foods at the buffets, regularly. Like it's curry chicken tonight. Oh, it's this tonight. And then when I come home and I go, hey, we should go try that new restaurant over. That's what I think is what it is for me. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, hey, let's just do something out of the ordinary.
And when I haven't been working for now a week, been off work.
How's
feels
it feel?
Great. It feels so good. I'm like at the point right now where I'm like,
I'm going to psychoanalyze for just a second. And listeners, this might help you. Honestly, if you have a day job or an office job or a cubicle job, this might help you because I know Janet does not like to disengage from work.
it's taken me a good 5 days to do that.
That's what I'm saying. Now, how does it feel? Because you don't typically do this. You normally, I've seen you still check your phone or check work email. This is the first time because I heard your boss say, don't sign in because I know when you sign in at work. So I don't want to see that you signed in. So you've now seriously been disengaged. Does it feel better?
It does. It took me a few days. Like you saw me. There were a couple days where I was wound so tight, and a lot of it was because my brain was like, "What am I missing? What am I missing? Oh my gosh, what am I missing?" But then again, like my boss. Well, actually, that was my boss's boss. That was like, "Do it." Yeah. I never do this. I had extra vacation time this year. And there was one Friday I just decided to take off. You were traveling, and I was like, I'll just stay home and declutter, which is my happy place. And half the day I spent on my work email. And it was not a vacation. I was like, this sucks. But people were like, Janet, I really need this. Oh, Janet, this is a 911. It's not. I don't work in the medical industry. I'm not saving babies from burning buildings.
You don't, on your voicemail at work, you don't have, in case of emergency, if this, or one of those, if this is...
On my out of office, I have, in case of emergency, contact Kate. She's my coworker who is leaving the company as of tomorrow. So
you got to change your voicemail.
Well, no, it's on my out of office, which is scheduled to turn off tomorrow at 5.
Well, but you're going to have to refix that again. That's what I mean. Aren't you going to have to change? Kate's going to be gone. You got a new.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't have a new Kate. Anyway, so staycation has been awesome. It's just taken me
Do you hear a flutter? Did a flutter just kick in?
The heater is on.
Oh, okay. I just like all of a sudden I was like, I'm hearing a flutter.
Yeah. So staycation, like, you've been traveling a lot this year.
A lot.
So,
I think this year I might have traveled more than I have in my entire
previous
career.
years. Yeah. Okay. Entire
Honestly,
career.
yeah.
Wow. It felt like you were gone a lot. So I was like, I was so ready for you to be home. I was like, I'm going to be off. Steve's going to be home. This doesn't typically happen. Typically, if Steve's home, I'm at work, and then I come home exhausted and brain dead, and I say, let's eat and go to bed. So I was like, we're going to have 9 days straight of just us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, when I was trying to think about what to get you for Christmas, I was like, he doesn't need anything. He has all the things. All the things.
I need stuff.
Over 20 years, he has all the things. So what can I get Steve that would be fun? And I was like, thinking about Vlogmas, which is our YouTube channel for December. And so I bought us tickets for all the things.
Cool stuff. We went to see
We went
the
the
zoo
first
lights.
day.
Well,
I've got a chronological order here, sir.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I spoke out of turn.
I found this thing. I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw this and I was like, what is this? And similar to what everyone has told us since we went there, I'm like, this is perfect for Steve and I. It's the Denver Selfie Museum.
Several people have went, that was perfect for you guys.
Yeah. Even our family was like, we almost bought you tickets to that. I'm like, yeah, we're weird. I don't know how to take that. I'm not going to dig deeper into that. We like taking pictures. We document our lives on the social media, and that's okay with me, and that's okay with you. That's part of your job.
Yeah. It's branding in this day and age.
Yes, it's off of Market Street in downtown Denver, and we really didn't know what to expect. I had looked at their Instagram and their Facebook, but I wasn't quite sure. It said that they had 25 different installations, and you could take pictures, there's props, and I'm like, this is like a
And for
photo
people,
booth.
I'll break this down a little more. By 25 installations, it pretty much means 25 different sets. Like if you were on a movie scene, each one is a different scene that you could go. Like there is a 1950s kitchen table looking, and then there's a bathtub full of fake plastic bubbles, and there's a washing machine. It looks like if you wanted to do like you're doing laundry, and then what was some of the others? Banana swings, looked like you're in a jungle.
Yes,
and there was
just a red couch with a brick wall in the background.
Yeah.
There was a punching
bag.
bag.
Looked like you're in a boxing gym.
There was a room with mirrors and orbs.
The infinity room.
Yes. There was this weird bed set up where it took us a minute to really understand how to utilize this. We thought you had to jump, but you really didn't have to. It's just you're standing up. The bed is against the wall, so you're standing up vertically next to it, and if you take the picture and then
turn it
shift
sideways,
the picture, it looks like you're doing crazy acrobatics on the bed.
Yeah, like you're flying off the bed.
Yeah. There's a flower wall. There was a Denver corner. There were flying VHS tapes with black light. There was a cassette tape wall.
Cassette tape wall. I like that one.
So much fun. And I don't like. I picked an outfit that I knew would be pretty universal to colors. I just picked black and white. And I did that intentionally. But I feel like we could have done even better, like done outfit changes.
Yeah, well, I would have, if I'd have known what we were going to do, or if I did this again.
I said we were going to the Denver Selfie Museum. You could have done your research.
I just assumed you were going to be like, you go in. Well, at first I thought it might be honestly a selfie museum. Like it's going to be like
of other
like
people's
pictures
selfies?
of like
Kardashian.
artistically done selfies. Like I've seen books like that at Urban Outfitters. You know? So I thought maybe that's what it's going to be. I thought, well, but maybe there'll be some stuff where you take your picture, and that's what I sort of looked it up, and I saw the people were standing by things. So okay. But getting there and doing it, you realize, I should have brought a selfie stick.
Yeah.
I should have brought a tripod for both of us to get into the pictures. There's certain things now that you think, but now that I've done it, I would do this again, or at least I'll change jackets. If you don't want to change shirts, wear a t-shirt, change jackets. and that kind of stuff.
But we still had a lot of fun.
We had a lot of fun. I would probably do it again.
And it created a whole Facebook photo album for me, and people were like, "Whoa, you posted a lot of pics."
You got a few comments about, wow, you would kind of posting crazy there, didn't you?
Because
I thought you were going to spread it out. You know,
I did over like an hour.
Yeah, but I thought this picture this month, maybe this one next week. Oh, it's winter. I'm in the kitchen. You know.
Yeah, no.
You were just like this one. Oh, I love this one.
I'm a doer. So then the next day, I wanted to get into the holiday spirit. And one of my all-time favorite Christmas movies, which we still haven't watched, even though we had an all-day Christmas movie marathon, which we'll get to in a minute, the Gaylord Rockies opened within the last year.
Mm-hmm.
And
Gaylord Hotel.
Yes, it's the Gaylord Hotel, but it's the Gaylord Rockies.
Yes.
They have...
they quit.
Huh?
They quit. That homie quit.
You okay, crazy man? So they have this great exhibit. It's the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer ice sculpture exhibit. And my girlfriend had gone, and I was like, okay, I'm going to take Steve. It'll be fun. It'll be Vlogmas worthy. And I was like, Steve, you got to dress warm. It's 9 degrees. 9 degrees in this room. And it's a big room because it has a whole exhibit.
Room. It's bigger than I expected.
And they give you like a parka, but the parka is not quite warm enough. You have to have things to cover your fingers, things to cover your ears.
I think they give you enough to cover what you've already have on.
Yeah. But I thought that was so amazing.
The ice sculpture was incredible.
It walked you through the story, and obviously you didn't know the story because at one point you were like, I think this is the end. And I was like, no, there's more to this story.
Well,
and you're like, it looks like the end.
Well, didn't it?
Like,
I mean,
no.
it was such a finale of art. You know what I mean? The way that it was done.
Yeah, the Land of Misfit Toys. It's a very colorful part, and there's an ice slide that we both went down. And I was so happy that you wanted to do that. I was afraid you were going to be like, meh. But it was so much fun. And then after that, there's more to the story.
Yeah. So if you want to see that, that is on our video. Go to our YouTube channel, Wrinkled Sheets, and all that ice and ice slide.
So much fun. Like my heart, it was like it grew. It was like the Grinch. I wasn't being a Grinch, but my normal heart grew like 10 times. It was like Christmas spirit. And we walk out and they have hot coffee and hot cocoa with marshmallows.
Well, to back that story up, I was getting cold. My hands were getting cold. And I told Janet, I go, when we get done here, we need to go find hot chocolate and coffee, like immediately. And she was like, okay. As soon as we come out the exit,
there's hot coffee and hot cocoa.
It's like the little girl that did scout cookies outside the marijuana store. It's like,
yes.
Like people are going to want to buy some warm stuff when they come out of this ice box.
And you even broke your keto and had some cinnamon rolls, little mini
Cinnabons.
And it was like set in like England because there was Big Ben, and like even where you bought the hot cocoa and the coffee was like
the architecture was made to look like old England. Yeah,
it was so cute. And they had the mistletoe village where they had like the gingerbread making and Mrs. Claus, and it was so cute.
It was.
It really was. So much so that we came back that night with your sister and brother-in-law.
Well, yeah, because we saw that they had the outdoor lights.
Yes.
And it looked like, I bet this is beautiful at night. So we came back and yes, it was beautiful at night.
And while we were there during the day, we went through the shops, and there was this really cool isn't the word. It was a great perfume. I put it on my wrist, and I was like, oh, yeah, that smells great. And then as we walked around the Gaylord, I was like, the smell is just getting even better. I'm like, this is an amazing perfume. Then when we came back
that night,
I was going to say that, I was like, oh, good, I'll be able to look at the perfume. I looked at the perfume, and I looked at the price, and I went, oh, it's the holiday season, Janet. You cannot purchase this expensive perfume for yourself. And then fast forward to today, which is our
second anniversary.
2 years we've been married.
2 years.
Well, we've been married a little bit longer, but this is when we exchanged our vows. I watched our vow video today, and I even call us out. I'm like, as many of you know, We actually got married
December 16th, wasn't it?
Something like that, or the 15th.
Yeah, it's whenever in Colorado, when you get your license at this courthouse, they ring the bell and went, "Look, you're officially married.
Yeah.
But now go do the service."
Yeah.
I'm like, what? How does this work? Okay, whatever.
But I wanted our official anniversary to be
Boxing Day.
It's the day after Christmas.
So the holiday still keeps going.
Yes, so that Christmas just doesn't die after the 25th. And you bought me this perfume, and if you watch our vlog, it's an upcoming vlog, right?
Yes.
I cried. I was so, overwhelmed. I, opened it, and I was like, ah!
I special ordered it for you.
Yeah, you did. And I didn't even, this is where I don't remember names and stuff. I had looked up the perfume online and realized it was just as expensive online as it was in the store. And so then when the box got delivered a couple days ago, it was the name of the company, but I didn't. Johnny
was.
My brain, I was like, I know that name, but I don't remember where from.
And I was like, oh, crap.
Yeah, the look on your face was not okay. I was like, oh, well.
Because I thought you immediately would see that and you'd go like, oh, that's the perfume that I loved at the Gaylord Hotel.
I really didn't, because Johnny sounds like a cartoon or something that we would have seen that was oh, that's so Steve or something. I don't even
remember the name of the cologne. Do you remember the name?
It starts with a T.
T.
It's not a common name.
No, but it smells so good.
It's so good. It's gone off my wrist today. I put it on this morning. So but it's one of those perfumes where it gets better with time.
Well, I told you this morning, I think it's one of those colognes that mixes with you. They always say that you should try a cologne because everybody's body scent changes the smell or the chemical makeup and everything.
Yeah, this is one that initially I was like, oh, that's okay. Not enough to even look at the price. But then as I wore it, I was like, oh, this is great. Okay.
So I did okay?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then the next day, it was going to be a night adventure. And it was to see the zoo lights at the Denver Zoo, which I've asked you to go to the zoo with me before. And you're like, no.
If you've been to the zoo once, you've been to the zoo. Have you seen the elephant? Did you walk through the monkey cages? Okay, I've been there.
See, and I like that stuff. But this was the Denver Zoo lights. They advertise it as millions of lights.
They're right.
Okay. So our tickets were for 7:30, and we had gone to dinner with some friends, and we were already in Denver. So I was like, well, let's try and go
early. Maybe we'll go early.
5:15, 5:30. Ooh, I guess the place opened at 5:30. There were lines, and I was like, okay, let's
go kill some time.
Yeah, we got 2 hours. So we went to a Starbucks, and you uploaded vlog, and
I got work done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Work.
Yeah.
I wish that was my work.
Well, getting vlog edited and uploaded is still part of what we do,
Right.
Especially for myself, being the self-employed
Any money that the
business.
blog makes goes to you. I don't know anything about it. So it doesn't feel like work to me. I'm not getting paid by it.
Well, we don't, there's people that make a lot of money off of YouTube.
And we don't. It's
don't.
like $20 a year.
No, it's actually better than.
Okay, good.
It's much better. It's typically for us $20 to $25 a month, maybe.
Oh, good job.
Yeah.
That's good Starbucks funds.
Yeah, that's kind of what it. And when I first started doing the channel, that money was going into. I'll buy a tripod, or I'll buy a light.
That's why we have so much stuff.
Yeah, I was using that money to help buy the stuff for the video channel, and now it's just sort of now it's goes into the account and pays bills.
There you go, and that's fine. That's fine. But then we went back to the zoo lights. It had cleared out a little bit. We were able to get right in, and we were looking, and it was great lights, and they had hot cocoa. We had hot cocoa again. Mine had Bailey's, yours did not, but they both had marshmallows, and it was great. And then we come up to this train, and someone had said, you must ride the train. And I'm like, okay, we must ride the train.
I don't know why anybody would say, you must ride the train. So,
right?
So I'll add to this, because now that you're saying, ooh, I had a friend say, you need to ride the train. in my head, I thought, all right, well, maybe we're going to see something that you're not going to see just walking around. Maybe this is going to be special. The train takes you through a light-up cave, or you'll go past an area that you don't typically see unless you take the train. So I'm kind of like, cool, let's do the train.
We stood in line for a good 30 minutes.
Yeah, the train had come and gone a couple of times. And
we realized quickly that the train that left was the train that came back. And it wasn't a massive amount of time.
No. And we were both like, is this going to be as good as we think it is?
And we had to pay extra for the train tickets. So it was like, once we were committed, we had to do it.
It was not worth it.
No, I grew up in Southwest Missouri, which is near Silver Dollar City. Mm-hmm. And there's a train at Silver Dollar City that, as far as I know, you still don't have to pay extra for. And it is awesome.
Well, it takes you around the entire thing.
And then there's a play in the middle of it, like a little skit.
Like they pretend to rob the train.
Yes, it's so much fun.
And this basically went around a tree.
Yeah. I was like, after riding the train, I was like, is this all that Zoo Lights has to offer?
Yeah, that's when you got like, oh, this isn't going to work. This isn't worth it. I don't know why people said these lights are this great. Yeah. Why would you come? And then we kind of walked
off the train
and walked around the corner.
We kept walking, and we ran into the elephants, real animals. It was so cool.
There was giraffes.
There was a whole reptile aquarium type setup.
And the lights got better. The lights themselves even got better. And it was like to the point where at the end I was like, I am satisfied. Yeah, but you were not in a happy mood right after the train.
It wasn't that I was not cranky.
I didn't say that.
But I wasn't cranky. I was just like, well, this stinks. This is kind of crappy. And then I realized that was just the beginning. So if you go to the Zoo Lights in Denver,
don't ride the train. Just walk around.
Yes.
Unless you have a child. Oh. That's a child.
Butterfly didn't go with us.
Kids love the trains. Yeah. They love that kind of stuff. So if you're an adult, just skip it.
Skip the train. I think the person that recommended the train has a child.
There you go.
That makes sense. And then we come to Christmas Eve.
Okay.
What?
I was trying to remember in my head. Christmas Eve.
Yes.
That was the family party.
Yes. So we went to the family. We did our Christmas gift exchange with the family, which is, Christmas is 100% all about kids. And watching the kids light up with their gifts is always the best part of Christmas.
And I like when they get excited about what you got them.
Yes.
It makes you like, yeah, they liked mine. They liked mine.
Yes. And your daughter, or our daughter-in-law, did a HelloFresh Christmas thing.
It was so good.
Yeah.
So good.
You just let HelloFresh know how many people, and they send what you need and tell you what to do. And not sponsored, but I recommend it. We had beef.
What was it? Beef something.
Tenderloin?
I can't remember, but I was going to say, even though they shipped it, my daughter-in-law cooked it perfectly.
Yeah, she did great. It was like
my steak was restaurant good.
And there was Brussels sprouts with bacon, and you hated that, but there were carrots.
I ate that.
And mashed potatoes.
I ate that.
Yes.
I wasn't supposed to, but I ate that.
And I got wine condoms.
Yeah, I still don't know.
Which embarrassed the crap out of me.
Okay, I saw that, but I didn't see.
It's how you.
Somebody was explaining it to you.
Yeah, so you know how you open a bottle of wine and you put the cork back, or there's those stoppers. This is a way to preserve the wine even better, but it's called a wine condom.
Do you put it on like a regular condom? You put it on, just roll it down the neck of the wine or something?
I haven't tried it, but that's what it seems.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a great time with family. We have a great group of people in our family. It was a lot of fun.
It was.
Okay. I thought maybe you'd have more to add.
No. I was like, I like Christmas Eve festivities. I know a lot of people wait till the next day. We have
in the past. It kind of depends when you have mixed families. When kids are with your family as opposed to with the rest of their family.
Yeah. Well, like we've got divorced friends that they're, you get them Christmas Eve, get them Christmas Day. So I guess that's how you must decide how you're going to do. But people in general that are just Christmas Day people. There's families that are Christmas Day. Like, see, Christmas Eve isn't really Christmas. We wait to open our packages on Christmas Day. That would drive me crazy as a kid. We couldn't wait till everybody to get there Christmas Eve and have dinner and open those packages. I was a Christmas Day
kid.
Oh, were you? See, so you know.
Yeah, because Santa didn't come until Christmas Eve.
Well, yeah, Santa always comes. But did your family do it? Because there's some families that do everything on Christmas days.
So we would, maybe because I grew up in a poorer family. If you did things on Christmas Eve, there wasn't anything for Christmas Day. But I do remember. If
you want to eat tonight, we can't eat tomorrow. So what do you want?
No,
do you want food tonight?
But my parents were always really good about the Santa Claus aspect. Where Santa Claus would come, like there would be things that weren't there Christmas Eve, but we wouldn't open anything until Christmas Day. Oh. So I think it wasn't until that you were like, hey, do you want to open something on Christmas Eve? And I was like, no. Why would you want to do that?
Oh, because that's the way it always was for us. You open the presents Christmas Eve because cousins and their uncles, everything, we all got together at my parents' house. That's why I told you the other night, their parties used to go till 11 o'clock or midnight.
My parents
their Christmas
party.
Eve thing.
Yeah.
And
they didn't have friends.
And so that was all of that. But then you had to go to bed to wake up tomorrow to Santa's gifts. Only that, so you knew what you got that next day was strictly Santa Claus.
Santa did good?
Santa always did good.
Oh. See, that would be technically 2 Christmases. On a budget?
I still remember some of my toys as a kid, like vividly.
I do too.
Vividly, like seeing it under the tree, like, oh, it's the monster machine that I wanted.
I do too. Yeah, I completely. Yep, same thing.
What'd you have? What can you?
There was this house. It was a house. It was a mini house. It was like probably 4 foot by 6 foot. And it was all made out of cardboard, but it was built in my living room. And inside it, I had some Barbies and stuff. But it was amazing because for some reason, the entry room to my house got turned into my bedroom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they moved the front door. And like in hindsight, I'm like, why wasn't that my parents' room? But whatever. I had the big walk-in closet that was the entryway. And then the entry, like the sitting room, got turned into my bedroom. And I just remember we moved that into my bedroom. And it was so cool. I had this big house to play house in. And it was great.
Was it set up, ready to go when you got up that Christmas? Because that's the way it's got to be.
Yeah.
Like, you come out, you can't go, hey, Dad, can you put my bike together? The bike has to be sitting there, done, ready to go.
I remember bicycles. Yes. It was always great.
I had a thing, as I said, the monster machine. There was this, it was because I loved to draw as a kid, which I ended up doing. But it was this thing, it was a light table. It was a plastic top with a light bulb underneath it.
Okay.
And it came with all these templates. So you could draw different monsters you put on top of the light table. You'd be like, oh, that's a monster arm off this one. And then you take another tracing thing and you put a head on it. You could create all these different kind of monsters. And I loved that thing. And I kept that light table for years. I don't even know what happened to it, but it was one of those things like, as an adult, I'd still be like, oh, there's my light table.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, one of the best Christmases, I was in 5th grade, and I wanted to be more organized in my life. Welcome to Janet today. So I asked for a desk. I asked for stationery. I asked for all the office equipment, a stapler, scissors, all of that. And I got all of that. All of it. I made a list for my grandma.
So basically you got the cubicle you're in now.
Yes. It was so ridiculous. I got it was one of those like it's like the wood, but it's not the real. It's like the fabricated wood.
Pressure board?
Something like that. Yeah. It was a pressure board desk with a little cabinet to put all your supplies. And I just remember, like, Grandma, I want to be more studious and more organized in my homework. Because I think that was about the time where you really started to have homework sent home. And so I made a complete list. It was like a desk. I need paper. I need pens. I need a stapler. I need a tape dispenser. I need an alarm clock. And I got all of it. And I remember my uncle being like, seriously, you made a list? And I was like, yes, I was very, very organized. I wanted to be a more studious person. And he was like, you got everything on your list, didn't you? And I was like, yes. I've never made a list for my grandma before, but I did that year. And I got every single thing, and I felt so organized and ready to take on the world.
And then what happened?
I took on the world. And I did my homework there. It was great. And yeah, it is my cubicle today.
So you kind of planned your life out at that point right there.
I knew then I would be an office rat, but I didn't until now.
You were going to be a Dilbert.
Yes. Yeah. Some great Christmas memories. But this year...
Did you ever, after you figured out the list and you made a list and you got everything on that list, did you do that again? Did that become your... No,
that was the only year I did that. Because I had a task. I wanted to have more organized office in my bedroom.
Yeah, but I'm saying once you figured out that you got everything on that list,
no, I didn't take advantage of that process.
So next year I should make a list again.
No, that was the
wink.
only year I made a list. Because I was like, I don't have a desk. I need to be more studious. I don't want to do it at the kitchen table anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I didn't take advantage of that situation.
Because the way you were leading that story, like your uncle said, and you got everything on that list, didn't you?
My uncle was always an ass.
Really?
Yeah. That's why I don't talk to him to this day. He's one of those people.
Everybody's got family members,
yeah,
don't they?
And that's why I said that. I wasn't ashamed to say that because everyone's got that family member where you're like...
I just don't talk to him.
As a kid, and then even as a young adult, when I was moving out to Colorado, he was like, I can't believe you're doing this. Oh my gosh. Because at the time I was moving...
Why wouldn't you think
Because I was moving in with my boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Of 6 years.
Yeah, why would you do that?
Right. Or 4 years. 4 or 5 years. After 4 or 5 years of dating, my boyfriend asked me to move to Colorado. And I was like, okay. And my uncle was like, you're a disgrace. I remember I was on one of my grandma's rotary phones. And I was calling my uncle because my grandmother was in the hospital. I was giving him an update. And I was like, okay, I'm set to move out to Colorado next month. So what is the plan from here? And we were working on that, and then he was like, I can't believe we were moving to Colorado, living in sin, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
And what's he up to these days? Don't know?
No.
Because we don't talk.
We don't
Family doesn't talk about him.
No. Yeah. Anyway, now let's go to our Christmas. We had a great chillaxing Christmas. So I feel really bad. Like, I bought all of these, adventures. We went to the selfie museum, the ice sculptures, the zoo lights. Mm-hmm. And then we come to Christmas Day. Did you have to make that noise? Because that's how I felt.
I know. That's what I was. It didn't feel like that at the time. But after listening to you build up the story and how much fun it was, and we had great Christmas Eve with the family.
And then we got up, open gifts.
We got up, made coffee.
And I made waffles?
You made good waffles. Were those the keto? Paleo.
No, paleo.
And then we turned on a Hallmark Christmas channel that you had recorded, and we spent basically 12 hours.
No, wait. Before we turned on Hallmark, you were like, do you want to do presents? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, okay. Now, Steve,
I see where you're going.
I already bought your adventures. I paid for the selfie museum, the ice sculptures, and the zoo lights. So your Christmas gifts are very small.
Christmas. Yeah, that was my Christmas, was those
So I got you some T-shirts, V-neck T-shirts, which you love.
Which I love, because I like to wear them on stage.
I got you a travel bag for your toiletries.
Which I needed because I've been carrying my shampoo.
Target bags.
Yeah, I put my shampoo in Target bags.
And then I re-gifted a power bank that I had got through work.
It's a really nice
power bank. It's a really nice one. Like when I opened it at work, I was like, oh, this is really nice. I I already have a power bank, and Steve really needs one, so I'm going to regift this. And I turned to Kate, who's no longer going to be my coworker when I go back to work. Aww. And yeah, it's super sad. And I was like, Kate, I'm going to regift this to Steve. Is that okay? And she's like, yeah. I was like, but it says career builder on it. And she was like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm like, okay. So those were your gifts, your physical gifts on Christmas.
Yeah.
And
I love that battery.
But before this, and before the adventures, what's wrong?
Nothing. My phone lit up. My cord, not to interrupt, sorry, but my cord just got this accessory is not supported.
Oh, got it. So I had lost my train of thought.
You had got all the gifts, t-shirts, batteries.
Oh, and then we got an us gift.
Yeah.
Our robot vacuum had malfunctioned, and before we knew it could be replaced, you had found 2 refurbished ones, and you were like, we'll put one downstairs and one upstairs. I was like, this is a perfect Christmas gift.
Because we could get 2 refurbished for the price of 1.
Yes. So I was like, okay, yes, purchase it, and I will Venmo you the half of that, and that will be our Christmas gifts. Period.
And it was. And it was. No, well,
but
I'll let you tell. I'll let you tell because it's more of your surprise. When I gave you your Christmas present.
Oh, but I wanted you to tell about the vacuum story.
The vacuum thing. Well, after we had ordered the 2 refurbished.
Yes.
I thought, well, I should probably just call. Well, to back it up a little bit, I was taking the refurbished ones out of the box, and there's the the warranty and all the phone numbers, and I thought, I'm going to call about the old one. I'm just going to call just to see. So I call, and the guy goes, "Could I have your name, phone number? What's the model number and the serial number?" Okay, turn it on, turn it off. Is it working? No. Unplug the power base. Did that come back on? Yes. Okay, so it should be. All right, hold on a second. Comes back. Okay, we're going to send you a new one.
A brand new one.
A brand new one. We're going to just send you I just bought two refurbished, which work great. They work great.
And we gave one to family members.
Yeah. So that's what we did. We regifted
yes.
a iRobot.
Yes. And then we exchanged gifts, and I gave you what I just told everyone that you got. And then you were like, here, open your gift. And I was like, because I knew I had paid for experiences and the vacuums and then some small little
gifts. But like we said earlier, what's Christmas without a gift?
Right. And I gave you small gifts.
I know. And I gave
you gave me a massive gift. Our Alexa family has expanded. We now have the Echo Show.
Yeah. Echo, is it Echo Show 8 or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's 8 inches, and that's why it's called the Echo Show 8. And it's the video version of Alexa.
Can't say it because she'll light up and start.
So now that we have the show upstairs, we moved that Amazon device to our bedroom, and we moved the one that was in our bedroom to the basement. So if we ever need Amazon during our podcast, we have one.
I don't understand why people are so afraid of Amazon.
Because they are always listening.
It's listening. I mean, I understand that.
But I have nothing to hide.
No, if you're not selling drugs out of your house.
If they push something to my phone that I don't need, I should be able to say no.
Mm-hmm. What was it the other day? Remember that we were watching that movie, and I looked up that actress, and I typed in the first name, and
I think she's a very common Hallmark actress.
Wagner, somebody.
Yeah. Jill
actor, Jillian actor, something like that.
Yeah. And I told you, I think it's just that time of year.
Because I typed in just the first name, and the first thing that pops up was that actress. Yeah. Her Wikipedia and IMDb. And I'm like, oh, see, it's listening.
No,
it's always listening.
I just feel like it's very common that she is being looked up right now.
But do you love the Echo?
Oh my gosh. So much love. And now that it's in the kitchen, I can pull up recipes and get my local news all in video form.
It's really, it's weird that you can have all this information in this day and age like that.
It's like, hey,
it's just
give me the information, yo.
there's no reason for people to be stupid in this day and age. With this much access to
I have
information.
to say, when I'm in work brain, which is typical, I'm pretty stupid. I don't know what's going on.
Well, that's not stupid. That's not being.
I'm ignorant.
That's not even. No, it's not ignorant.
No, ignorance. I don't have the knowledge. That's ignorance. Alexa, what is the definition of ignorance?
Ignorance is usually defined as the state or fact of being ignorant, lack of knowledge, learning, information, etc.
So,
okay, you're ignorant to the fact
yes.
that it just happened, maybe.
Yes.
Because you're not aware of what's going on sometimes. Like, did you see the news today? You're like, no.
No, I didn't.
No. But I
Alexa, stop.
But I just always think that people in this day and age can always be like hearing it somewhere on the radio, on TV, on their phones, on their computers. Like, a lot of times I get news immediately.
I do too.
Those alerts.
But I discard them because I've got work to do.
So I'm just saying, you're working. That's.
But you make fun of me for that all the time.
I know. My bad.
You're like, bleh.
Well, you have
How
to. How do you not know this? How do you? I know.
I'm sorry. I was making a living.
This.
Another thing that you discovered this season.
What's that?
Was the Yule log. The Yule log?
Yule log.
Yes. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's the Yule log that streams on our TV now.
Oh, that Yule log. I know that.
I found
Yule
the history of this.
Of one that you put on your own fireplace. What a Yule log. But
this is the streaming
Yule log, which I kind of became addicted to this holiday season.
And in 1966, Fred Thrower, president of independent New York City television station WPIX, had a pesky 3-hour hole to fill in his Christmas Eve programming. Then, one night ahead of the holidays, he was watching TV and a Coca-Cola commercial featuring a fireplace and Santa gave him an idea. A looped video of a crackling fire uninterrupted by commercials. 1966. You were 10 years old.
Yeah.
And so an annual tradition was born. And for 50 years, the WPIX Yule log has been one of the most widely recognized holiday television programs. The WPIX log is the granddaddy of them all.
Ta-da! I love that. The one that I use is the Pluto TV.
Yeah. So I was getting there. After the program's surprise success, ratings declined over the years. It was canceled in 1990. But WPIX brought it back in the wake of the September 11th terrorist attacks. Ratings rebounded in a spectacular way. And now you can find it on Netflix. And you can find it on Pluto TV. And we streamed it the entire time we were at our family's Christmas Eve.
Yeah. On the one on Pluto TV, it does Christmas music at the same time. And so it just put it on and you get the whole...
And Fireplace for Your Home is now consistently one of the most popular videos for Netflix's 160 million subscribers. Wow. Yeah.
But remember last night we checked it out to see... I like the fire on Pluto better than the one on Netflix. The actual fireplace.
Yes,
they're both good. But I like the fact that it shows the logs and the dropping little sparks off the logs and the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have shared a lot.
We shared a lot this time. A lot.
And I feel like we probably have more to share. And so prior to the new year, we'll have another podcast
Let's do
recorded.
one more. Yeah.
Yeah. But for this one, it's time
to wrap
this
Put a bow on this
off.
Put a bow on this Christmas present podcast.
Put a bow on this Christmas podcast. After the fact Christmas podcast.
Yes. Yeah. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, share us with your friends.
Yes. We have a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah. Put yourself as a subscriber.
Put yourself. Just subscribe to us.
Yeah, just subscribe. I was trying to say put yourself.
Got weird there, buddy.
I know. I just I don't know. Now you may be even more unaware of what I'm saying.
Glitter?
I've got glitter in my nasal cavity. So no, speaking of which, before we go,
Yes.
there was a story that I saved that we didn't get to. A guy, that's funny you said that, a guy that was having sinus trouble for 18 years.
Ooh.
18 years, went to the doctor, and they found a balloon full of marijuana in his nose.
Forgot?
He forgot. He actually snorted this balloon, and he swallowed it. He thought it went too far, and he just swallowed it and totally forgot about it. What happened was it went up and got into the brain, the nasal cavity. And so he didn't swallow it. It's just been in there for 18 years. And if you Google, you'll see the story. Because people, and the thing says, it's pictures or it didn't happen. So they actually have the x-rays.
Oh, goodness.
Can you imagine that? Not know that you snorted a bag of marijuana?
I've had some nights back in my younger day where I got a little crazy and you like wake up and you go, wait, what happened?
But you still,
everyone.
I can't breathe out the side of my nose
Steve.
for 18 years.
When you were on the substances, I bet there were days you don't remember.
Substances. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We appreciate it. Find us on YouTube, Wrinkled Sheets, Facebook, Wrinkled Sheets. There's something else. Oh, Pink Barb 27 on Twitter.
Princess of Parker CO on Instagram.
On Instagram. That's right. And I am now back on Twitter as MudflapMC, at MudflapMC, because Twitter killed my last account. They do that sometimes. So, till next time, bye.